Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Thank goodness for that, because I'm not repeating.
Just straight into amateur hour, isn't it?
I know. It's been a shocking day here, and then
I mean, it's not an hour and a half ago. You said we will convene at 7 o'clock.
I know. 7 o'clock ish. I said 7 o'clock ish.
7:20, but that's close.
Yeah, that's close enough. Anyway, everybody, hello, welcome to our midweek Rev-Yule. So it's quite clever that for me. I'm just going to do that until Drew tells me to stop doing that. This is our Christmas show because we aren't on the air on Sunday because that is apparently Christmas Day or something like that. So we are going to be doing a show tonight. However, I have been. Sorry. Oh, there he is. However, I have been discussing the idea with Drew to do a festive of modelling. So we might do a live show for a few hours over the Christmas holiday, where it'll just be our feeds from our workbenches, and we'll just be giving it all this, you know.
To be clear, we've had a discussion about having a discussion.
Yeah. So we'll pick a date. We'll pick a day, and then we'll do it. Yeah. Is that your paint water? Is that your paintbrush water you're drinking there?
Nice.
Oh, no. I'm glad here.
Or as I heard it called earlier, Christmas milk.
Christmas milk. Yeah. I haven't got anything here. I was going to go and get a drink. In fact, I've still got my Airfix glass that I haven't christened yet, but I think I'll save that for New Year's Eve. I think.
I don't often drink Baileys, but it's very nice, isn't it? It's very festive.
It is very festive. There's one you can get from Lidl called, I think it's called Irish Meadow. It's a fraction of the price, but it's very yummy.
Having said that, that was only 12 quid, so
okay.
It's not exactly.
Lidl, Aldi,
Morrison's.
Oh, okay.
When was it opened?
About 15 minutes ago.
How much is left?
Oh, come on, Mike.
About 15 minutes of drinking time left. There we go.
Dear me.
Anyway,
that's
right.
Evil thing to suggest.
Yeah, welcome to tonight's. This is just an informal kind of chit chat thing we're going to do tonight. We'll talk about our favourite kits of the year and just the general badinage. However, I do have a model to talk about, a kit to talk about rather, which is that's 1602. And it's the German Hanomag RL20 tractor. Luke at Froome Model Centre has been holding this back for me for about the last kind of 8 months or so. I haven't had the chance to go into Froome, so I went in on Saturday and managed to grab it. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'll let you two take over for a while because I'm going to go and get a hot drink. So
there's been no preparation here whatsoever, has there?
No, of course there's no preparation. It's Christmas.
Absolutely no preparation whatsoever.
No preparation. No, of course there isn't any preparation.
It was all talk. It was all talk earlier. All talk, no action.
No, there's no preparation, and I have delivered on that promise of no preparation. So
absolutely, unbelievable. So, Mike, what have you built a model this year, Mike? And that's not a sarcastic. That wasn't a sarcastic question. That was a genuine question.
I actually had to think about it. Yeah, one. Let me see if I can grab it. I'm leaving now too. Keep talking, Drew. I'm right here.
They've wandered off. We'll just keep drinking. Cheers, Slange. Oh, I'm all on my own now. So is everyone else having a drink tonight? What are you drinking? Come on, share. Let's have a look in the comments. Minus 30 degrees centigrade in Alberta. Jim, I suspect you need the central heating on. I don't have any heating on tonight. It's not even cold enough to have central heating on tonight. But
I'm in shorts.
Our Canadian friends are obviously suffering a bit more than we are. Minus 30 degrees. Oh Lord.
Yeah, this was the only thing I finished this year.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? That's good. And isn't it strange? It's the only thing you finished this year, and it's not even an aeroplane.
You know what? I haven't worked on many airplanes this year, surprisingly.
Do you think that it's doing the what you do daily eats away at your sort of desire to do that?
Yeah, it certainly does. And frankly, I mean, built airplanes for the majority of my life since I was 9 years old or 8 years old. It's nice to have a change once in a while. And so, I mean, the last three models are the tractor, a Tamiya Ford GT car, the Tamiya Mercedes race car, which I'm still working on, and the Tamiya little Stewart tank. That's it.
So
and prior to that, it was the Tamiya F14.
Yeah, that Mini Art. I don't know what the name of the tractor is now, but that Mini Art tractor is just absolutely beautiful. It's such a fun little kit. That
with 20 million
Lands Bulldog. That's it. It's such a fun little kit. That it's one of my favourite models I've built in the last God knows how many years. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's been a case of everybody's been a little bit lax on the model completions this year. I mean, like I said, I did my I sort of counted up what I built this year, and I think I've got 11 completions this year, which for me is pathetic. I'm normally up around 24. So, but I think
Fusion 360's been your enemy.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, when I think about it, though, I've still been spending a lot of time involved with modelling. It's just that I've been sat in front of a computer, manipulating 3D files a lot more rather than actually sticking bits of plastic together.
Files for some of which I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
Well, anything I do, Mike, if you want it,
cheers.
It's your basically. Cheers. No, thank you. Well. That's how I was able to get that.
Cheers.
Well,
I thought you were getting a drink.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to get a drink. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, chaps. I knew I was doing something. Honestly, you joke, right? But this COVID brain fog is absolutely terrible. It really is. It's just, yeah.
He sent him off to get a hot drink and then came and sat down 20 seconds later and then complained he didn't have a drink.
I know, shocking. Right, I'll be back in a sec.
Well, go on then. I believe it's going to be a catastrophe tonight, isn't it? It's already started off that way.
I was going to say gonna be. I mean,
well, yeah. We're off to a catastrophic start.
We're not even off the launch pad, and it's abort time. So,
yeah. Like I say, Mike, I think it's having spent a lot of time on Fusion, and I have to say, trying to get my head around SolidWorks a little bit as well. So
yeah, that's a rough one from what I understand. I tried to. I was going to get it, but my computer's not powerful enough for it, so I'm going to wait until I get a new computer.
I think the major problem with SolidWorks is that because it's a far more of an industry standard professional application, it would be easier to learn it from scratch than it would to move from Fusion and try and learn it, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Because you're kind of bringing all your preconceived notions of how stuff works in Fusion to it, and then you're fighting to make it work for you.
Right.
It is. I mean, there's no doubt that it's inherently more powerful than Fusion. Stuff that I get frequent failures on with Fusion, with generating fillets and stuff, and shelling can be a nightmare with Fusion. SolidWorks just tends to plow through it. It just brings raw horsepower to the equation and just powers through it. But then I sort of sit down trying to design, I don't know, something something like a set of wheels like that. I'll sit down for a couple of hours in SolidWorks and kind of fight with it and get close, and then I'll get frustrated, start Fusion up and do it in 10 minutes. Because you're used to doing what you want to do in Fusion.
Right. And frankly, I mean, you would think I would know Fusion. I literally rely on guys like you and Rich Van Zandt and Craig Sargent.
Yeah, but you're kind of a manufacturer
because I don't have the bench time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because you're manufacturing stuff, Mike. It's it would almost be a case of the only thing you would really need to know Fusion for is if you get a file and you want the original file and you think you might have to do something a little bit different with it, like in terms of mounting. I mean, none of the stuff I do at the moment, I'm using, Lychee is being used to slice it, and that's all. All of my mounting and stuff is being done in Fusion.
Right.
I'm sort of custom generating all the mounts and stuff for it in Fusion because it's quick and it means I can tailor it exactly to where I want it to be, and that's all you really need it for. You're the manufacturer.
Well, and I'll make the announcement here right now. I'm going to basically quit casting this coming year. Altogether. In fact, there's going to be a bunch of parts that I cast right now that they're just, if they're not older ones, they might be slow sellers that at this point, it's not even worth making the molds.
No.
For the few sales I get out of it, because the rubber is so expensive. And, it's so much more labor intensive. And what it would do is afford me more time to actually start designing some of the things I would like to do myself. Because one thing I've never done to anybody that does stuff for me is ask them to do something specific.
No. And that's the thing. It's just like, the stuff of mine that you've got is stuff that I was doing for me.
Right.
And you've said,
and a lot of it the same with Richard.
It's stuff that I do for me. And until you said give it to me, it never really crossed my mind to
give
for it to be. Well, no, all right. Christmas has been paid for by my designs, people. Let's put it that way. But yeah, until then, it never, it just didn't occur to me that it was a. Something to make money from, if you like. But yeah, it's great fun. But as we were discussing just before we went on air, Mike, the thing with having all these files at your fingertips is you're not a slave to stock.
Right.
You could if somebody comes out of the blue and says, "Can you do this 30-second scale, whatever that you haven't had in the range for a couple of years?" Pulling the file out and sticking it up and printing one can be done on the corner of a table with anything else. It's kind of like if you got the file, you have a perpetual stock level now, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I showed you.
You have a perpetual stock level with no inventory to worry about.
Exactly, and no real output except for in the cost of the printer, which pays for itself. And the resin, which, I mean, I go through a ton, but at the end of the day, it's still cheaper than casting. And, I showed you earlier, these are Drew's gun barrels for the Spitfire. He nicely did 3 in case you break one. I've got probably 70 of those packed up and ready, maybe 100, and a bag full. I might not have to print these for another year.
No.
But they're done. And that frees up printer space for other things too. So, and those were all done in the span of maybe 24 hours.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. A lot of the stuff that I look at the stuff that's being done on YouTube and stuff, and people are doing massive prints of things for, science fiction and cosplay stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And what we're doing is all, an inch tall and stuff like that, isn't it? So relatively speaking, it's always going to be quicker. He's back. Have you got a drink now?
Mulled wine, chummy.
Mulled wine.
Mulled wine.
I can't laugh. I'm drinking Coors Light. So
also,
were you not allowed to drink at the moment, then, Mike?
I can't drink mixed drinks or hard alcohol. You would not like the mic that comes out.
Or Coors Light. You can't drink alcohol at all, apparently.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's not quality; it's quantity. How do
I'm
you think
also
I got
going to have
great dad bod?
I'm also having a mini Ecclefechan tart as well. So
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Now, one of the things I was going to say was,
Now he's got a mouthful of tart.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say now. You completely put me off. Yeah, Mike. So you're doing Spitfire bits. Is that a new diversion into World War II?
Yes. Thanks again to Mr. Manton here. I've crossed the threshold to World War II. These are my first two. I did the Mark. Well, he did the Mark V guns and the Mark V guns for us. That it's nice to have something different. I might even change my website so it's modern stuff, and then we're pre-war, so people don't have to skim through every product, although I enjoy it when they do because it makes them buy more sometimes. But
people start grazing. Oh, I'll have one of them. Oh, I'll have one of them. And,
question for you, Mike, from Carlos Ruiz, and he says to Mike, does that mean you can switch the entire lineup to 3D print, or are you taking out some items?
I'm going to be taking out some items. First off, again, things that are just their shelf life is they're expired, I guess, if you will, to the point where if I see an order and I go out and I pour a mold and the mold tears on that order, then I'm looking at, oh great, my $9 sale has now cost me $49 in rubber. It's just not economically smart. And frankly, a lot of the stuff that I've got is older. Several years, and improvements can be made.
Well, I'm looking at the OA4M conversion that you've just moved that to printed, haven't you? So talk us through that, because I presume the original done by Mike.
No,
Gabe.
Rich
Gabe. Was it Gabe who did the original?
Yeah, Gabe Pincelli did our original. He handcrafted all of it.
Yeah.
Beautifully. Funnily enough, and this wasn't staged, folks. The nose. I'm not sure if it came originally from the monogram kit and he refined it to fit the Hasegawa. That for now will stay cast.
Okay.
As will the little the antennas.
Yeah. That
go underneath. But I was casting the spine, but Rich Van Zant. Rich, this is the first test print. Don't yell at me about the supports. I know you're on here. I was casting the spine, which Gabe did, as well as the hot dog, which will now be offered in the external set as well. I'm going to do 3 sets, basically. I'm going to do just the external set, which I have. The cockpit by itself, and then I'm going to do the full meal with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So Rich and I will talk some more about how we want to what best marketing way we should look at doing it, because he's pretty versed on his own designs, obviously, and can certainly guide me in the best way to go with it. Oh yeah, and here's the canopy inner framing, which I offer separately for the TA4, but he redid it for the OA4M specific. It's hard to see with all the supports, those are going to be changed as well. Again, these are just first generation prints. I haven't got the new supports on yet, and there's the front tub. My camera sucks. I'm sorry, and I'm going the wrong direction. But there's the main front cockpit, and underneath you can't see it, but the wheel well is integrated for you with all the detail in it. So
good question from Mike Williams, who says, as you said, you might not need to print any more for a year or so. Once printed, does the resin have a shelf life?
No.
No, not as far as I'm aware. No, it's no. It's pretty much like any other resin. It's, I've got resin from 30 years ago, Verlinden conversion sets in the attic from 30 years ago, and they're still perfectly fine to use. So I don't think it's got any less of a once cured. I don't think it's got any less of a shelf life than polystyrene would have, really.
Yeah.
Here you go, Mike. Here's a good chance for you to plug the brand, because Julian Dallimore says, "Hi, Mike. Apologies. We're always apologizing for Mike, but there we go.
Trust us.
He says, "Hi, Mike. Apologies. Maybe a little new to the channel. What is the name of your brand?"
Well, Julian, thanks for joining. By the way, it's Phase Hanger Resin.
Here we go.
And then just put a .com at the end of it, or even check us out on our Facebook page. Just at Phase Hanger Resin.
Just put just an add a .com to the end of it and get ordering.
Yeah, spend some money on it. I'm kidding.
Send us your money.
Actually, it's been kind of nice because December is historically the worst month of the year for the business, for obvious reasons. The model budgets going to the wife and kids and grandkids and girlfriends, whatever. And it's kind of been nice for me to get a little bit caught up and start building some stock on the newest stuff, and develop, like Richard is doing this OA4M for me. Get the stock built on that, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's quite exciting. And by the way, I'm no photographer, so if the pictures are terrible on my website, my apologies.
No,
they're good enough. They're good enough to see what you need.
Good enough for government work, Mike. So yeah, there you go, folks. If you want to know more about Mike's company, go to phasehangerresin.com. So,
and it's an AR in hanger, not ER.
Hang on. There we go. Steve Moore says, good news about Cornwall Aviation Heritage Centre. Right. Okay. We'll have to look that up, because I know they were in danger of being turfed out from their place, but we'll have to look that up and see what that story is. So anyway, it's good news. So that's the main thing. There we go. Right. I'm all over the place tonight, honestly. Let's talk about, I tell you what, let's give me something to do, and then I can sit back and let you two yak away whilst I kind of fall asleep or something. So here we go. Not because you're boring, just because I am very tired today. So never mind. Here we go. This is 1602. And this is, it's a company called Sabre, and it's done in cooperation with 1602. Do you know what? I haven't even opened this up. This is just literally, here it is.
I don't think I've heard of Sabre or 1602.
1602 did that anti-aircraft gun that I built about 2 years ago. So
didn't Sabre also do some like rail cars or something?
Quite possibly. So I can see this is going to be a massively. Well, I was just going to joke to say this is going to be a massively involved build, but then
that showed up.
No, then I suddenly kind of like saw the instruction sheet. So let's get the bits out of the packets, because there's nothing worse than people doing sprue things with shiny packaging and everything in the way. Yeah, you know me, I like quirky vehicles, and I especially like quirky German vehicles. So let's, there we go. So this, whoever these people are, and I will go away and do some research on them. It's beautifully molded. There's the first thing, a bit like the 1602 flak gun that I built. Like I say, 2000.
Pavel, they're saying that they do rail cars, and now they've released a very nice looking JLTV in 135. I might be in the market for JLTV.
I knew I'd seen them before.
Yeah.
JLTV.
It's a replacement for the Humvee in US.
Oh, right. Okay.
Army service.
Yeah. Oh, for goodness sake. We'll get these bits out in a minute. Here we go.
It's like a Humvee after a Happy Meal.
Oh, cool. Right. Okay.
Or 20. Tell me I'm wrong, Mike.
No, that was funny. I'm still chuckling about that. That was good.
Here we go. Right. We'll go through the instruction sheet, but first things first. It looks deceptively simple. This. I mean, doesn't look like it's going to be a massively complex and involved model. But then I thought that about the Lafley V15 from ICM, and that was quite an involved model. So what do we got here? We've got we've got part of the chassis. We've got a chassis, posh, part of the cab and the engine bits and pieces. Then we've got the seat. We've got the engine. We've got the suspension and steering wheel. A little bit of flash on there. Don't worry about that. Brakes and wheel hubs. So repeated sprue. Then we're coming towards the end of the kit now. Then some more suspension units there. Well, these will make sense once we get into the instruction sheet. And then there we've got bits for the engine, the lights. That's it. It does not look. Do you know what, Drew? If we're going to do a festive of modelling, I think this is going to be my model of choice.
That's your choice, is it?
I think this is going to be something that literally I'm going to build in the space of a day. I think I can get construction on this together quite rapidly, he said. Ha ha ha. Clear parts. I won't take them out the wrapper at the moment. And then we have some rubber tires, which some people like, some people don't like. I find them to be a bit mercurial, but these look.
They're very much better these days than they used to be.
Yeah.
I think they're actually using rubber.
Yeah, it's they used to be terrible, didn't they? But I think they're better, but still wouldn't be my first choice, shall we say?
No. Then we've got a photo etch sprue here, which has got some tread patterns, a grille, and some other details. Which this doesn't. Zoom in a bit. This doesn't look like it's going to be a terrifying photo etch sprue. I'm just thinking, what was the? Yeah, I'm thinking of my Mini Art Tempo E400. I gave up using half the photo etch in that kit because it was just driving me nuts. But this doesn't look too bad. This looks workable. However, we've got the instruction sheet, so let's see what's involved with this little model. And there we go, engine. Right, fine, okay. All looks very, very straightforward. We've got the axles, we've got the drive shaft and everything. Yep, that looks relatively straightforward.
It looks like a nicely done instruction sheet as well.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice, very ergonomic. That's what I like.
I keep on looking at instruction sheets at the moment and comparing them to the one in the Kinetic F16, and Kinetic still seriously need to look at their instruction sheets because they're terrible.
Yep.
Terrible.
So we got some bits and pieces there. we can assemble the steering linkages as well. I mean, this is where this stage looks like this is where most of the model starts to not grind to a halt, but it all starts slowing down a bit because you've got a lot of small details to get in place, especially that there. That looks like that's going to be fiddly, but nothing insurmountable. Oh, skip 2 pages there. So look, it's for what I thought looked like a deceptively simple kit. There are a lot of steps in this, and we've got bits there for the cab and the mud guards. Some more photo etch. Blah blah blah. There we go. More photo etch. In fact, we've got some stacking there for laminating some stuff there for the photo etch. And dum-de-dum. There we go. Wheels within wheels. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, take your pick, there are no decals. But
yeah, but I mean, is it that simple? Is it that simple that it doesn't need any, or is it an oversight?
No, I can't see that any were included in the kit, and there's no decal placement guide. No, it doesn't look like there are any decals in it at all. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. I mean, if, for example, the only area that requires a decal would be that. Do you know what we do with that, Drew? We hide it with mud. So,
Yeah.
So overall,
funnily enough, looking at that, the whole breakdown and the way it goes together, it seems just as fiddly as that mini art tractor that I showed.
Yeah, possibly. I'm going to cut it some slack because there's certainly less of a parts count than the Lands Bulldog from Mini Art. I think the proof in this particular Christmas pudding is when I actually sit down and start building it. And like I say, we'll do that as a live, so that so that you can see it coming together in real time, and then we will find out how easy or how relatively straightforward that is. But I do like the look of it, though. I mean, it's a fun little vehicle, isn't it? So, so I got from Froome Model Centre. They kept that by for me since about April.
There's your other kits on the bottom.
No, that's just the what's its name. That's
on the bottom of the box, isn't that?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry.
Releases?
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, there's those rail cars.
Yeah, I mean, combines my interest in military vehicles and railway stuff as well. So, so yeah, good stuff. So, there we go. That is Sabre, nice. aka 1602. Looks good.
Yeah.
It looks like it. Well, I mean, it looks like a fairly simple little build. It's that's. I mean, for armor and stuff like that, that's the sort of thing that appeals to me these days. It's why I still find, Tamiya's stuff so.
Yeah.
Because it's just you open the box and a couple of days later you're ready to start painting. A couple of modeling sessions later, you're ready to start painting, aren't you? And I'm looking at. I went out to Scale Model Shed yesterday, and they didn't have the new Tacom Sergeant York in yet. I was hoping they would have, but looking at the breakdown of that, that is gonna be a really involved build. It's gonna be a considerable amount of time before I can start painting it. Whereas that looks like a couple of sessions,
like I say, we'll build it. We'll do a live over Christmas, and that'll be, you will see it evolve before your disbelieving eyes.
I think the best example of that I can think of in the last few years was it Bronco who announced a Chaffee? They did a Chaffee, didn't they? I'm fairly certain.
I think so.
And I can remember, I love the Chaffee. I think it's a fabulous vehicle. And then I saw the breakdown of the kit, and I was like, really? stuff that most companies would do as one part. They've managed to compact into 47 parts or whatever, and it's just like for a vehicle that's kind of that long in 35th scale,
Right.
it just looked, and so at the moment, as far as chaffies are concerned, dear Tamiya, if you're struggling for a subject.
Well, I think Steve Morris is going to disagree with you, according to his comment there of he doesn't like shake and bake models.
And that's but different people like different things. I mean, I had this discussion on my model page just the other night, didn't I? Where I was talking about the new
Mirage,
special Hobby Mirage 3C. And I mean, I've built 5 of the Model Civic ones now, and I love that model. It's great, but it takes getting to here would be over a week's work, and this was basically at this stage 2 nights ago. It was like 2 modeling sessions to get here.
An amazing thing is, I mean, Special Hobbies only improved, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is well up there with the best you'll get anywhere else at the moment. So, the only things I've done are, like I say, I mean, I already had the main wheels printed or designed because I did them for the Models of it one a couple of years ago. And then today I managed to lose the nose wheel for this one, dropped it and couldn't find it. And ultimately, it was quicker to go back onto the computer and design a new one in Fusion and print it than it was to continue looking for the one I'd lost.
So, right, Drew, got a question here from Hobby Time. They say, Drew, which is the best chaffee in 1/35th?
Who did AFV Club do it as well? I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah. My gut says either the Bronco or the AFV are going to be the best in terms of detail levels. The only one I can talk to, having built in the past, is the Italeri one, which is nice enough, but is kind of its time, mid-80s.
And wouldn't Bronco be a little bit more difficult to find now since they're basically kaput?
I didn't realize they were kaput, but certainly if they've gone, then yeah, it's going to be you're going to be limited, because I think AFV Club did the NM116, didn't they? The Norwegian chaffee, the modern one, and some others. So I suspect there will be people here who have more knowledge of the best chaffies than I do.
Pavel.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, like I say, if Tamiya feel the desperate urge to do a new chaffee at some point, I wouldn't object.
Powell says AFV Club is the best. Bronco builds into a great model, but
it's a challenge to get there. Yeah, like I say, everything that could be. It struck me that everything that could be a separate part on that model was. There was absolutely no attempt whatsoever to simplify any single part of it to make it a more accessible model, should we say?
Well, the thing is, that's kind of like it's kind of like swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Because sorry, I'm just swinging my leg over. Is the Italeri kit? It may not be terribly well detailed, and it might be quite old, and it's probably got a few inaccuracies because I think they base it on a post-war one as well.
Yeah, so I think they've recently re-released it with new tracks and stuff, haven't they? And bits for World War II.
But for all its faults, it's not difficult to build.
No.
And
I mean, it's probably 30 years ago I last built it, and I remember it being an enjoyable build.
I mean, it's that thing again that I can't remember where I was. It was a Facebook page. I won't name it, but it was just like it was the opinion of a couple of people who posted on it, and it's that thing of modelers who think there's only room on the market for one kit from a manufacturer, and it's the best kit from a manufacturer, and I don't know why X, Y, and Z bother, because that kit is better, blah, blah, blah. They don't factor into that. Some people may not want to build a model that's got, separate track links and things. They might want to build something that's a bit quicker, it's a bit cheaper. And again, it's that whole thing of kind of the hobby is broad enough that you can accommodate for lots of tastes.
Well,
as we know, you do get, as in life, you get people who they style things in their own image.
And I think you also look at, I think every manufacturer individually has their own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Some really like that wow factor. It's got 1,200 parts in a tank. When another manufacturer can do it with 160 parts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's they're catering to the market that works for them and the budget for each, every modeler has a different budget, I would imagine.
Those 1,200 parts in that 35th scale model, though, generally turn out 764 of them are track links and and assembly. I mean, speaking for me, I could quite happily go my whole life without ever seeing another individual track link. But here we are.
I look at, I'll compare, again, shake and bake Tamiya F14D Tomcat versus the long-awaited, often maligned AMK one, or whoever it was. The difference in the parts count is staggering, but so is the difference in the quality.
Yeah. Sadly, yes.
And
sadly.
with all the hype and everything over the aforementioned one, rather than the first one, it failed on many levels.
Yeah.
Tamiya sells in buckets, and for good reason.
Yeah, and you'll walk into,
It's done.
I can think of 2 or 3 places I could walk into tomorrow morning and pick up a Tamiya Tomcat.
I have yet to see an AMK Tomcat in the flesh in the
There
box.
you go. I think I've seen. I think I saw one the other month, but it's like it's genuinely a case of you kind of glance over a shelf and go, "There's a Tamiya Tomcat, obviously," and then you go, "Oh, an AMK one. Oh, I haven't seen that before."
Yep.
It's just, they really dropped the ball on that model. I'm afraid they really dropped the ball.
And I think it really hurt them as a company overall. Sadly.
Yeah.
Jim Altergott, I hope to see that monogram Devastator when you're done with it. That's an airplane that's you never see built. So
this is Steve Moore's. This was his post. He said, eyesight test. I know. Get me teeth in.
I read it. Shall I read it?
No. Eyesight test tonight. 144 scale Harrier with photo etch, pick scent. First time I've used my Despy PE bender. Lovely tool quality. So there we go. That's incredible. That is so tiny. That's just Talking of tools, look who's joined us.
Oh crap! I gotta go.
Yeah, bye.
Evening, Spence. All right.
Hi, Spence.
All right.
Yeah.
How are we? Are we well?
Yeah, we're drinking. So
yeah. We got Jonathan, with his usual hijinks of.
I'm on the Christmas milk, so.
Yeah, this is where all of our projects this year all feel like they came to absolutely nothing because genius level modeler here scratch builds a pub.
That is my favorite model you've ever done, by the way, Spencer.
Thank you very much.
That is it is remarkable. It is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I love the fact that the roof, the slates on the roof are all wavy and stuff.
First thing I noticed.
It just
probably won't be repeating that anytime soon because all of those slates were all individually cut and placed, all 1,500 of them, and drove me completely bonkers. But yeah,
And there was
thanks for
me
that. Yeah,
complaining about backlinks.
it's been nicely received. So yeah, it was good to round off the year with
What's
something a little bit.
happening to it, Spence? Is it actually going on display in the pub?
Yeah,
or-
yeah, it's a commission. It's a commission for the landlord. I think it's probably going to go behind the bar on the wall.
Nice.
But he just wanted something to kind of. It's his 10th anniversary this year of owning Aussies, and he wanted something that he could use to kind of memorialize that. So that's sort of what it was for, really. And I jokingly said one Friday night after I'd had probably one too many beers.
No, really?
I was thinking of doing, building a model of some of the sort of landmarks in town. And he said, "Oh, if you do one of here, I'll commission you to do it, and I'll kind of pay you to do it." And that's sort of where it went, really. And then we had a conversation 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I said, "Look, I've got a break. I'll try and get it done for Christmas." So I started it, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday last week, and then just sort of ran at it. And kind of had to go at it. I think if I was to do it again, I would simplify it completely and simplify the process. I was a bit overblown with the structural part of it, and I'd probably use Lego as well to create the sort of the basic skeleton of it. But it's a real fun project, and it wasn't until yesterday when I took the photograph of it below eye level on my desk, and I looked at that photograph, I thought, actually, that's really close to the way that the pub looks. The thing is as well that my reference shots, when you see it, the pub is currently painted white and green. My model is painted in cream and green because halfway through the project, he announced he was getting it redecorated. So I was like, "Oh well, thanks for telling me." Thankfully, I haven't sort of painted it yet. But it's kind of where my head is going now. Really, it's where I intend to develop my work over the next 12 to 18 months, and sort of go a bit more into kind of scratch building and everything, and maybe indulge myself a little. I've been working on difficult kits with the Monogram series, to put it mildly, but I want to sort of develop the scratch building side of it and everything. And the other thing I'm going to do as well, very quickly, because I sort of dropped in just to say hello rather than rain on everybody's parade, is that the other thing I'm planning on doing next year as well, which I don't normally do, is I'm planning on doing what a two-dimensional artist would do, and that is sketching. So if I get an idea in my head, rather than doing full-blown projects, doing tiny little sketches and seeing how that kind of works, and and sort of take from there. But I'm really sort of touched at actually how many people really like this, because it's so different from anything else.
Oh God, yeah. It is. Without wishing to, blow smoke around your nether regions, it is an absolute work of art. It really is.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, but really people just get the eye is drawn to something unusual, isn't it?
Yeah,
and making something every day into a model is an unusual thing to do.
Yeah, I kind of like the challenge of it though, Drew. To be honest, the challenge of doing something mundane. I like. I like the mundane things. We all build fast jets or aircraft or the sort of glory items, but there's something rather nice about building a wheelie bin.
Yeah, it's why we're always so. I mean, you built those. You did those cast resin skips.
Yeah, skips
and stuff like that. And it's things like that. It's why we're so enthusiastic about mini arts. Releases. It's because they release kits of the mundane that help to there's nothing that catches the eye more than, I don't know, a diorama with an Abrams but with a satellite dish in the background hanging off the back of a house or something. It just your eye will be drawn to that as much as because it kind of it completely contextualizes what you're looking at.
Well, funny you say that, Drew, because Jim Altegott says perhaps mini art can make some scale pub accessories in various scales.
Well, they've done cafes, haven't they?
I get the funny feeling that with a fair wind, given what's happening in Ukraine, I would not be surprised if that actually becomes the next range of things they start to develop is bars and pub fittings. Also, just a quick diversion here. Julian says, Drew, building the Mirage F1, just wondering if you have built this and do you have any advice?
Replace the pitot tube with master models, turn brass ones. that's the first and foremost. Otherwise, it's a nice model. I've built about 4 or 5 of them so far, it's some of the raised detail is quite could do with toning back a little bit, and the scribing, the engraved detail is quite heavy, certainly a lot heavier than it is on this Mirage 3 with the new stuff. But it's a great model. Enjoy.
Your favorite airplane?
Yeah. Yes. Dave Fleming says Mini Art needs to do some weighing and measuring equipment. Dave, that's his day job. So
yeah, Dave trading standards, Dave
trading standards. So yes, honestly, yeah, that would be good actually. Yeah, set of figures, trading standards officers, that would be good. No,
they all have to have an angry scowl on their face.
You what? Sorry, Mike?
Yes, they all have to have an angry scowl on their face.
I think there's another very quick reason why I like this project as much. I think this year has been defined by Ukraine, hasn't it? It's been defined by conflict, and I think there's something I found that I needed to have something that was completely removed from all of that, and I liked, and the pub idea was great. Also, I live in a town that's filled almost to the brim with listed buildings. Oddly, I live in a little market town, but the whole of St Mary Street, where this pub sits, virtually everything is a Grade 2 listed building. That pub itself was made during the 18th century. The actual structure of the building, it's and so you're sort of recording a little bit of history as well. You're looking at something and going, actually, that's kind of cool,
It's older than my country.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, the building that's next door, that's attached onto it, that was made in the 17th century. The church over the road from it, that was made in the 1400s.
I had some friends of mine who lived out near Bridgewater, in a place called
my
Othery.
commiserations to them.
Well, no, they lived outside in a beautiful little place called Othery.
Okay,
but they bought a house and they had the house and post office, and the central portion of that house, the actual over the years it's been built on and built on and built on, and the central portion of that house dates from 1430, I think it was.
Wow.
And it's all the very central room, if you like, which was about 15 feet square. So it was largely what the house was when it started out.
Wow.
All big flagstone flooring and stuff like that, huge flagstones, all uneven and stuff like that. But have been built on over hundreds and hundreds of years. And when they got it, they'd had it for years. When they said the outside profile of the house doesn't match what we've got inside. And they knocked through a wall and found a whole wing that was previously undiscovered.
Wow!
It was just like it was like a whole living room sized wing with 2 floors that was previously undiscovered.
Yeah, they were lucky. They're lucky that they didn't knock through a wall. And if my other channel is anything to go by, they knocked through the wall and then found the body of a dead person. And it's like fine. But
yeah, remarkable house.
Sorry.
A remarkable house.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because we've had a little bit of a kind of look around, kind of like Spencer's hometown. But yeah, there are some quite remarkable buildings around. Actually, what I'll do is I need to look up Spencer's local pub in my. I've got 2 books actually. One is Haunted Shropshire. And the other one is Haunted Pubs and Inns. So I'm going to look that up and see what's going on there.
And the other thing about Newport is as well, and you guys have been here. You've obviously been to my house, so you know how small the town is. But at one point there was something like 35 pubs in Newport. it was quite an extraordinary place. And over the years, there's been sort of lots, but this one has sort of stayed. And I did mention this in before. This pub was owned by Ozzy Osbourne's wife. Ozzy Osbourne bought it for his first wife. That's why it's called Ozzy's, because Ozzy Osbourne lived in the next village out of town, and the story that he often tells, or is often told, about him running around naked, stoned out of his mind, shooting chickens with a 12-bore, that took place in his house 3 miles away. But yeah, before he got to, what's her name? Before he got together with his wife Sharon, he was previously married, and he bought Aussies for her, and so it's kind of stuck. So when I was chatting to James about it the other night, oddly, and it was one of those kind of like moments where you sort of check back. Somebody decided that they were going to play a whole bunch of Black Sabbath music in Aussies, and it was one of those where you just sort of sitting there going, yeah, this fits.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it, really. But listen, guys, I only wanted to sort of drop in because I've only just got back, and I'm actually completely exhausted at the moment, which is why I've been sort of keeping quiet on offline. I just wanted to kind of wish you all a Merry Christmas, and obviously a Happy New Year. Hopefully things will settle down around here, sort of into the new year or whatever. I do.
And by around here, you mean this planet?
Display, yes. I mean, I do check in because I put little comments, and I do watch the broadcasts and everything. So I just wanted to wish you all the best, Mike.
Thank you.
Very public thank you to you, because you've been extraordinarily supportive this year with the kits that I've used. So I want to say that publicly. You've been amazing, and in fact, the F100 that I completed a couple of weeks ago, that was your kit that you sent through. So I hope you were pleased with that, and thank you for the F18 that you sent through to me as well. That was amazing. And a little aside for you, which I think you'll probably find amusing. That F18 is the prototype. It's got the slots in the lurks, and I wanted a production one. I wanted to build FSD number 2, and FSD number 2 doesn't have any slots. If you know that aircraft, and it's the one that was flown off the carriers, and it's really weathered and battered and all that sort of stuff. But it's a cool scheme. Anyway, so I needed another F18, and I got one off eBay, but it had a part missing. It had the intake on the left-hand side. The whole of the intake was missing, and they noticed it. They said it in the kit. And I thought, blimey. So anyway, I bought it. It cost me about £9. And I thought, well, how am I going to deal with that intake? And then I looked in that box that you sent me, and there were 3 spares in there. So the test shot that you sent me from Bill Costa had actually got spares of the part that was missing. So now I have the prototype, and I have an aircraft that I can build FSD2 out of. So,
and if you do find that there's anything missing from the one I sent, I've got 3 more, so I can send you parts. Just let me know.
So thank you for that, John, as well. Thank you for for everything that you've done this year as well. For keeping this channel going and all of that sort of stuff and everything. And Drew, thanks just for being you really.
Funny you say that, because David has said big thanks to all of you for the shows this year. John for organising, Spence for being a god, and Mike for the fascinating insights into his profession, and Drew for the beard.
Yes, indeed.
That's your sole contribution, Drew.
I exist. Yeah, I exist only to entertain. If I'm doing that, then it's a job well done.
Absolutely.
Indeed. So, boys, thank you very much. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the support. Right. And to everybody else that's out there that's commented on my work, that's liked stuff and done all of that. It's without sort of going into too much detail, I've had a really tough year. So it's gratifying that it's that people are still looking and appreciating the work that I've done. So,
Spence, before you go, I'm just going to say we are planning to do, over the Christmas period, we are planning to do a festive of modelling, which is going to be an elongated kind of program. So you're more than welcome to pop in and say hello or have a chat or just not bother at all. So up to
Well,
you.
as long as it's not on Wednesday or Thursday of next week, that's fine. Because Wednesday's my birthday, and I think my
that's
Wow.
trolling
Selfless
for
plug.
compliments, isn't it? God, I don't know.
Drop that in all subtle like, didn't
In case anybody
Got
wants to
Wednesday
send
next
something.
week, which is my birthday.
yes.
Like,
So it was merely as a pointer that I wouldn't be available for that.
That's
but
fine.
yeah, if
Fine.
you're doing something next week, then give me a shout and I'll see if I can I can sort of drop in. So, boys,
Excellent.
thanks very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, and yeah, I'll see you again soon.
See you later,
See you,
Spence.
Spence.
Bye.
We'll talk soon.
Best to the boss.
Yeah, say
thank
hi to
you.
Liz.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. Thank you.
See you, sense. Bye. Well, that was nice, wasn't it? It was nice.
Hey, Jonathan, did you ever open the box I sent you?
Oh God, that's what I was going to do. That's what I was going to do. I forgot to open the box.
Why did I even bother doing this, Drew?
No. I was saving that for a live, and I know there was something I was going to do tonight, and I was looking for the Hannah mag, and it's in the front room. So bear with me.
Video's
Well,
done.
I go and get it, mate. Best behaviour.
He'll go into the front room now and promptly forget what he'd gone into the front room for. And he'll come back and sit down and you'll go, "What?"
I'm going to do a little Amazon plug. I was telling Drew before we came on. I was able to find the Tamiya F-35 on Amazon here in the States for $78 with free shipping. So I don't know how many. I think it was Hobby Time or something had them. But I'm supposed to have mine here by Saturday. $78. It's cheaper than the F4P.
And are you going to start it immediately?
No.
I thought you might do, Mike. No, I thought you might do. That was all. I thought you've been posting enough pictures of the real thing. I thought you might have been.
I actually might, because I've got some pretty cool markings from who was it? Floorball.
Okay.
That I want to do.
Right, you watch this. Now that we're looking at the wonderful box that Mike has sent us,
It's just a bunch of diabetes in that box.
Spencer will jump back in onto the feed again. He'll be like, "Oh, I want some of that."
Feel free to give it away.
No, I trust me, Mike. I will be sharing this simply because my waistline won't take any more hits at the moment. Right, here we go. It's exciting, isn't it? God, it's just like Christmas, isn't it? Oh, it is. Oh, God. It's always that one last bit.
Do.
Yeah, all right, Drew. All right, you just
We're here all day.
here all day. It's gone. Right. Oh my goodness me. Right. Okay. Here we go. I think we'll need to put this on the on the camera. Right. Here we go. So what have we got in this box here from Mike? We've got. Oh, my camera's not working again now.
Of course it
Hang
is.
on. Oh, I know. Right. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all right, Mike. Blessed. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Right. He has sent us. Right. Ready for this? Here we go. Some Funyuns.
Funyun.
They're disgustingly good.
Guaranteed fresh until the 13th of December. So you can have them, Drew. Funyuns. Amazing. Brilliant. Thank you, Mike.
My son loves them.
When we've got, oh goodness me, we've got some Rice Krispie treats.
I saw a joke there. Somebody said Rice Krispie treats are just an effective way of eating a whole box of cereal in one go.
Yeah, pretty much.
With marshmallow.
Yeah, with marshmallow. So there we got some Rice Krispie treats. So thanks for that, Mike. We'll do them. Then we have, Derp's come in. He's obviously thinking there's stuff here for him. Knott's Berry Farm premium cookies, strawberry shortbread. Oh,
those are my favorite.
240 calories per pack. And Mike has rather kindly given us Talking about sharing the love. There's six packets in there, so
They've got a cup of tea written all over them, haven't they?
they have got a cup of tea running all over it. So I think we'll have to contrive something, Drew, for that. Then this is so exciting. Then we have Mike sent me. How about this? He sent some. It is. Hang on, just trying to get the packaging off. It is Goldwater Mercantile. Goldwater's Mercantile. Here we go. And it is.
You'll send that to Drew.
Goldwater's Mercantile Wild Strawberry Jam.
Ooh, nice.
Wild Strawberry Jam.
Does that not say raspberry?
Are they?
That says raspberry jam.
Oh, raspberry jam. Yeah, sorry. It's also said. Hang about. It also says spicy. Ooh,
Spicy.
spicy. Ooh. Anyway, let's see what the ingredients are. Water, sugar, red raspberry puree, fresh jalapeno peppers. What? Citric acid, pectin, some things, and that, Mike, that looks absolutely awesome sauce. That does, or awesome jam. Thank you.
Yeah, it's local.
Is it? Right.
Yes.
Well, that might put in a repeat order for that. No, thanks, Mike. That's lovely. Again, I'm really apart from perhaps one of these, I'm not going to go tucking into stuff that has a collective kind of shared experience. So we've also got. How about this? We've also got.
I heard microwave popcorn's expensive there.
I don't know. Is it true?
I don't know. It's not super cheap, but I don't think it's massively expensive. But I like microwave popcorn's great though.
We buy boxes of it at. Do you guys have Costco?
Right. Yeah, we got
I have a
Costco.
few, but not many.
Yeah, we buy like 48 bags of it for $14. So
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot more.
Enjoy.
expensive than that.
Well, thank you. Unfortunately, I don't have a microwave, but I'm sure
Drew
I'll
does.
avail myself as somebody who does have one. So that's brilliant. Thanks for that, Mike.
Give it away.
We've then got we've got some cookies.
Those are oatmeal cream, Little Debbie things. They don't come with they come in a box. I didn't send you the whole box.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you. That's yes. Well, obviously I'll be saving them for when I see Drew. So we'll,
See, I think the oatmeal raisin cookie is a hugely underrated cookie.
There's no raisins in it. It's just oatmeal cookie with like cream in it.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
But I do think people often say the oatmeal raisin cookie is awful, and I think it's an underrated gem of a cookie.
I agree.
It's essentially it's just like pour it. Oh, we've got another one there. Oops, Daisy. Fourth one. It's a bit like kind of it's just kind of like raisin
Those are Little
porridge,
Debbie
but
Swiss
biscuit.
cake rolls.
Yeah,
Those are
lovely.
delicious.
They do.
Those
look
are
lovely, don't they?
addicting.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I should be honestly, all this I will be saving all this to share with my buddies, with my buds. We've got a bag here. Oh, blimey, right. What have we got here? We have got Christopher's Big Cherry. Okay. Christopher's Big Cherry. Whole cherry center. What is that, Mike? Is that like a chocolate covered cherry or something?
Yeah. Yep. My wife loves them, so I bought some.
Oh, thank you very much.
For you.
That's very kind of you.
I love cherries, so I like the look of that.
Well, funny you say that. I'm sat right opposite my cherry tree on the patio here.
Oh, I'm jealous. I love cherries.
Produced some,
I love
cherries.
cherries. Yeah, I do, Mike. I do love cherries.
Right. We've got Donette's Caramel Crunch, mini donuts. Very nice.
Sorry if everything got squished.
No. Yeah, no, honestly, it's fine. It's fine. I'm so looking forward to seeing people over Christmas so that they can share the calorific load here. And we've got here, Little Debbie, again, Little Debbie Christmas tree cake. And there are 2 of them. 2
Yay.
Little Debbie's Christmas tree cake. Isn't that fabulous, Drew?
Yay!
Drew's suddenly kind of like he's passed out from calorie envy. And then we've got Donettes again, frosted donuts. There you go, look at them.
Hostess. Hey.
Hey, that's a
Hostess
new
alive.
look too.
Yes. We've still got more here. Got 3
Come on,
left.
come
All right. We've got Andes, but not Andy, as in hobby headquarters. This is Andes, as in the mountains. Creme de menthe thins. So naturally and artificially flavoured.
It's
yeah,
good.
very nice. They look fab. Yum, 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 yum. And then we have, goodness me, we've still got more here.
Nice
We've
one,
got-
Dave Fleming.
The Senator's chili mix. Just add beef and beans.
Well, this is, again, Jonathan, when I realized that you were a vegetarian after I sent it.
Well, you say that, Mike, but
You could just add the beans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just looking here, it says ingredients: chili pepper, salt, garlic, onion, paprika, cumin, oregano, and spices. No, that's good. That's good to go.
Yeah, you don't have to add beef, do you?
No, you don't. No. I've got some lovely. Kidney beans in the cupboard that I could do.
There you
That's
go.
brilliant,
Perfect.
Mike. Thank you. That's absolutely fabulous.
And if you want to bulk it out, you can use that Linda McCartney stuff if you wanted to, couldn't you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the Linda McCartney mince.
Pretty
And
good.
then finally, we have Girardelli chocolate squares, chocolate assortment. So we've got milk chocolate caramel, peppermint bark with other natural flavors, and milk chocolate gingerbread cookie with other natural flavors. Girardelli.
Finally, they're from San Francisco.
Yeah, they're from San Francisco. Oh my goodness, Mike, that is a fabulous gift. And yeah, I really do need to kind of like save this for when I'm with the team, with the gang.
Absolutely.
So that we can kind of share it all, and then like I say, share the calorific load more than anything.
Well,
Mike,
and honestly, it was cheaper for me, even though it was ridiculously expensive with the postal service to send that. It was cheaper than sending it to 3 different people.
yeah, absolutely. But that's Mike. Your generosity is absolutely
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary, and we do appreciate that. And
I just
well,
want
what
you
can I
guys to
say?
enjoy the holidays.
that's very, very, very kind of you. And half an hour later, I'm still packing it back in the box here.
It'll never all go. It's like a model. It'll never all go back in the box.
It will never all go back in the box. That's fabulous, Mike. Right, you set the bar now, because when it comes to next Christmas,
I did forget the calendars, by the way.
I am going to have a real hunt around and send you some absolute gems from the West Country. So thank you, Mike. I'm larking around here, but I'm truly humbled by that. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mike.
On behalf of the IntMod Co team, of which you are our transatlantic member, thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Oh, cheers, fellas.
Thank you.
Believe me, it's so much fun just being able to hang out with you guys and talk, and the best thing for me with this has always been not just sitting and talking about phase hanger and stuff like that. It's just the banter.
There's loads more where that came from.
Yeah. And plenty. I mean, we've known each other for ages. So being able to talk and sit and chat with people from all over the world, it's just it's really humbling, and I think it's a lot of fun, and I hope this keeps up.
And whenever people are quick to criticize the internet or social media, this.
Yeah. What I was going to say was that we you know, in the absence of me being able to, I've not been as active in the workshop this year for a variety of reasons. But being able to put this show out each week, if I can't build any models, at least I can still keep my hand in with the, you know, with the hobby and keep in contact with people and keep, you know, and we can all kind of like still connect and, you know, get things done and inspire.
Yeah,
and
I think it's been a year of being incredibly involved in the hobby, even if our collective build rate hasn't been what it once was.
Yeah.
You know, it's still been pretty connected to the hobby all year.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig Sargent says, my wife loves big cherries. There's a sentence that needs context. And there's a man who needs a divorce lawyer. And then we've got David Mummery says, this is a veritable box of delights.
Without the creepy music.
Creepy music, yeah, exactly. Actually, they played that on Sunday. They had the Christmas Round Europe concert on Radio 3. And I think it was from Denmark. That was the Danish orchestra did the Healy Hutchinson Carol Symphony, and they did the first Noel section, and it was brilliant. It was so creepy. Jim Altergott says, did Mike include cholesterol medicine?
Or a blood sugar test? I don't know.
Blood sugar test, yeah, exactly. Jim Carswell says, lots of goodies there. Goody, yum, yums. And Stan Codlin says, granddaughter was in New York last week, brought me pretzel-filled M&Ms. Lol. Blah, blah, blah. Just have a look here. Douglas Wiggle says, my wife will fight you for the peppermint bark. She'll probably win as well. I am so honestly, this long COVID, it has sapped my energy so much that even, you know, I've got derp on the lap now. I'm going to need to have somebody actually lift him off my lap because I can't actually get off out of the chair now. So there we go. Right. I'm not going to do any other business, but so gentlemen, if I can be that bold with the English language, what are your plans for the Christmas holidays then? What are you hoping to do or achieve over the next week or so?
I've got a load of beer I need to drink. There's always that.
Excellent. That's a life skill, isn't it?
I'm hoping to get that somewhere near paint. I'm hoping to get that somewhere near paint. I'm hoping to learn to land the DCS F16 properly without rolling it over and crashing. Got a week to do that. Other than that, no, that's about it, really. That's my Christmas.
Mike, what are your plans?
Not much of anything other than the beer drinking that Drew's going to be doing. We have my wife and I's families coming over on Christmas Eve for gift exchange, and obviously I'm the cook in the house, and so I'll make a nice Christmas meal. I think we're doing Mexican food, which is kind of cool and different.
Cool.
Christmas Day will be spent with Colin and Mandy opening, gifts and just enjoying each other. And then my brother-in-law and sister-in-law will be coming over for Christmas dinner also, which I'm cooking. And then during the week, it's back to work. Every day probably. Next week, I'm playing hockey right now. So I've got some games. In fact, I have a game tonight at 11:30, which I'm not looking forward to going, but beer and fun is always involved afterwards. And then I got a couple games next week. And then New Year's Eve, we have some debauchery planned, I'm sure. Oh, and then this Friday we have a tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we have a party at a friend's house to go to that's called a naughty Christmas party, which I don't even understand. But they're friends, and we'll see what they're doing. I got a feeling it's going to be
If you walk into the house and everybody's car keys are in the middle of the table, mate, walk away.
No, I'm walking the heck away. Jim Walter got ice hockey. My son and I both play ice hockey. He plays.
You surprised me, Mike. You say about ice hockey, and alcohol consumption, all that kind of thing. Because I think to myself, well, that's odd because I never hear about any trouble in ice hockey games or anything like that. You know, it's kind of no punch ups and things, and all that kind of stuff.
But that's part of the game.
Yeah, it is part of the game.
Well, not anymore. It's really.
They really killed the fun of that.
Not a swingers Christmas. No, it's the fighting has kind of gone away, especially at our age. There's not I play in an old man league.
Old man league.
Yeah, it's a bunch of guys that can barely skate and don't hit me because I don't want to break a hip kind of thing. But it's a lot of fun, and it kind of keeps me going. I've lost 12 pounds in the last 7 weeks.
Well done.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Steve Moore says, "Don't send Mike Marmite."
No, you're right. I've tried it.
Yeah, and I don't get it.
They just don't get Marmite. They don't understand.
What about Vegemite? Do you like Vegemite, Mike?
No, they're both disgusting.
They're not disgusting.
There, I said it.
You just Vegemite.
Honestly, it was going so well tonight, and then suddenly, in the space of a few ill-chosen words, a friendship dissolved. So
I'm so sorry. No, it's Christmas is funnily enough, it's my family and I's favorite time of year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great time to get together and be around friends and family. I mean, we had our Friendsmas party this past Saturday, and neighbors and friends all came over, and it was just a great time. And then by the end by New Year's Eve, I'll be done though.
Yeah, Jim Altergott says I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. I like that.
Right. I'm not saying I haven't gotten into a couple, but
here we go. Here we go. The Marmite wars have started. Dan Wood says Marmite is rancid. Sorry. David Mummery says Marmite is the finest food known to humanity. So there we go. We've never mind punch ups.
I haven't eaten Marmite now for hours.
Yeah,
literally hours.
I need to go and get some so that I can have it on some crackers because I do like crackers.
It's like eating cat food on crackers.
No, it's not cat food. He won't eat it. He wouldn't eat Marmite. What's it was supposed to be a modelling show, but it suddenly descended into an argument about Marmite. Dave Fleming says we have a thing here for over 50s called walking football (brackets soccer). Problem is, it's useless for all of us for whom speed was their only skill. Mm-hmm. Mind you, when I was playing football as a teenager, I literally was playing walking football because I was just too lazy to run. I was of the opinion, look, you've got other people in the team who can do the running around. Just give the ball to me. I'll score the goals. Mike Williams says, here we go. Dave Fleming says, hi, Mike. Try basting your meat with Marmite. That's a recipe, by the way.
I was going to say.
And John Potts says, what about Bovril? Yeah, Bovril can Bovril. And
I mean, Bovril's like Marmite for people who don't like Marmite.
Yeah, that's true. And Mike Williams also says Marmite on toast with baked beans. Yes. Oh God, yes. Yeah. In fact, Marmite with right. Marmite with Marmite and cheese on biscuits. Oh God. Yeah, lovely. Right. I think
Drew, do you need some more rice-a-roni? Remember that box I sent you?
Oh yeah, the San Francisco treat. Love rice-a-roni.
Well,
it's like proper genuine junk, and all the better for it.
Gentlemen, I've just got to go and get the any other business?
Not from me.
Okay.
No, I really do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
And or Happy Holidays, however you celebrate.
Oh no, don't say that, Mike. The people in this country, they go mad if you say Happy Holidays now.
Well, same here, but other countries, we have listeners from elsewhere. So, and also thanks for just, letting me be part of this little mess of our little show that we do. I love it.
Your family, Mike. Your family, in as much as we break things and then blame it on you. So
always blame the American, right?
Absolutely.
No, but honestly, thanks for the opportunity to hang out with this year. And if you need some more victims for next week, I'd be happy to pop in.
Absolutely.
By the way, it's not my birthday next week. It's January 28th. My birthday is January 28th, everybody.
Okay.
But no,
very,
it's
very subtle. Very subtle.
Thanks. You know me, I'm subtle. Honestly, the amount of people that listen in and comment and you forgot Mike's birthday.
No, we're not going to egg it that much, mate.
But cheers to everybody, seriously. And I'm sure it's a little bit different having the Big Mouth American on compared to, the
Big Mouth Brits. Yeah, go on.
But it's just these two goobers. But no, I really appreciate it, and certainly thank you for the opportunity. And
no, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, Mike, and have your perspective and your insight.
Basically, I need to bump up the numbers.
Yeah, there is that as well. And Powell says, "Oh, I have a birthday one day after Mike." Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, they're all crowding in now.
Hey, Pavel, you guys want to know? I know we got to go, but a little creepy bit about my wife, Mandy, and I. Space Shuttle Challenger blew up on my birthday. Space Shuttle Columbia was lost on her birthday, February 1st.
Okay.
So when they quit the Space Shuttle program when our son was born, I was like,
yeah. Yeah. No more risk. No more risk.
So yeah, that's the creepy, weird Mike story that I have about my birthday.
I haven't got any creepy stories about my birthday. No, not at all.
What do you have planned for the holiday?
I genuinely need to get on with some projects here. So I need to clear this the Airfix Austin ambulance, because that's just dragged on far too long now. Not the kit's fault. That's just been me. The kit turned up just as I got COVID. And like I say, without wishing to kind of get the tiny violin out, it's been such a slog to try and get things done. And it's not kind of a fatigue whereby I can just kind of go to bed and sleep. It's not. It's a waking fatigue. I am fully conscious. I am fully alert, but just everything just slows down. It's horrible. It's
like a fog.
Horrible. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Another one. Ray says, I have Epiphany every birthday, January the 6th. Right, fine. Oh, just post your birthdays, folks. Come on. Just let's have them all.
Yeah, let's get a bloody birthday calendar started.
Yeah, let's just have everybody's birthday. So yeah, I want to get that done, and I want to get the Tamir Comet done, because that when I started building that at Telford, I thought, well, this time next weekend I'll put some paint on it. And also over the Christmas period, when we're doing this festive of modelling, of which I'll put a poster up and we'll sort out some dates, I'm going to throw this little Hanomag tractor together, because that looks really good fun, actually. So,
You know what I'm going to start at the first of the year?
Sorry?
What I'm going to start at the first of the year is the Mini Art London Omnibus.
No, blimey.
I can't wait for the 9 billion pieces of that thing I get to take.
Go blimey, Gov.
Oh, blimey, Governor. And there we go. Dave Fleming, January the 3rd here. What is this show? Pimp My Birthday. Steve Moore says, have you still got all the bits? I recall Comet bits flying everywhere. Yeah, at Telford, Comet bits were flying everywhere. But luckily, I came back with the kit. The kit, intact. Craig Sargent says, 2023, build outside your comfort zone. That's a very good point. And in fact, I will be having a word with a couple of supporters of this show to try and do some builds, some sponsored builds for January and February. I can't say too much at the moment, but I'm going to just kind of like try and get them on board with that and see if they'll offer a kit as a prize or something. So we're certainly going to be doing more of the builds and things and whatnot. So and Craig says I'm going to do a figure. Stick to modelling, Craig. And Mike Williams says I have 2 brand new kits for my first builds in 2023. Kinetic F-16 Revell Hurricane. Mike, it just reminded me. Mike Williams has sent us through some photographs of the sprues of his Revell Hurricane. So I'll be processing them over the next day, and we'll pop them up onto the timeline. So a big thank you to Mike. This Mike, that is, for taking some photographs of his sprues and things. I've got to say, the Revell Hurricane is something I am interested in getting hold of. The only thing that's stopping me from getting hold of it is that I just do not have the time to build one. In fact, this was the thing, that when I was in Frome on Saturday, they had some of those, I think I mentioned it on no, I didn't do a show on Sunday. They had some of those Aoshima kind of like little Japanese vending trucks.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And one of them there was a it was like a sushi one or something, and the kit was 25 quid. I thought that's amazing value for money. I really wish I'd got one now, but it's one of those things that I'd be spending 25 quid on inert plastic until I can actually get around to building it.
That's why I'm dumping a lot of my stuff.
Yeah. It's and when I've got other things that need building at the moment, it's oh goodness me. So I need to clear these projects so that I can do new projects. So there we go.
One last bit of business. For your broadcast that you guys have discussing. If you end up doing it, I will figure out a way to do, let's say, 3 $50 gift purchases from
that's very kind of you.
That you guys can give away at your leisure. The $50 is product, and I'll cover the shipping, regardless of where you're at. So we'll do, say, 3 of them.
That is
anybody that might want some stuff.
Yeah, that's a tremendous.
Thank you very much.
Offer.
I think we'll have a quiz.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was gonna do kind of like a more of a quizzy thing and stuff this year, and like I say, unfortunately, I've just hit that kind of wall of fatigue again, and I thought I just haven't got the energy to kind of sit down and think up things. So Jared says, not surprised many fine modelers have birthdays this time of year. Still Waters, January 10th, the score. Okay. And Jim Altegott says, Japanese mince pies.
Sushi pie.
I don't know what that is, but I hope it's PG.
Mince pies. I hope it's an actual Japanese mince pie.
Yeah. Let's move on from that. Actually, right, gentlemen. Thank you so much for turning up tonight. Like I say, we'll be back next week at some stage with a festive of modelling. I think Drew and I will just work out a couple of likely dates and. Hobby time last one. This is the last thing. It says, hobby time. Has Mike heard anything on the 148 scale B57G?
I wasn't aware there was one coming. So that would be a no.
No, he hasn't. There we go.
Who's supposed to be doing it?
No, I don't know. We'll find out. Dun, dun, dun. To be continued. We'll find out
Oh, it
next
would be
week.
a very welcome model. I do like the big ugly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's just
anyway.
Chimera.
Yeah. That is it for tonight. I'd like to say thank you to Drew. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to Spencer, briefly, for showing up. We will be back we'll be back next week at some stage. So until then, it just remains for me. Try to put my microphone on, that might help. It remains for me to wish you all, I know, it's an absolute shocker tonight. It remains for me to wish you all a Merry Christmas or whatever particular festive or religious holiday you observe. I think we covered ourselves there. Yeah, excellent. We'll be back at some stage in the future. So until then, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thanks a lot, and bye. He says, trying to find the end credits. Lol. I know. Bye, everybody.